Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Louise. I'm a South African, as you can hear by my accent, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your support. My channel is growing rapidly. I'm nearly on 1,000 subscribers, 766 as of the making of this video, so woohoo! Thank you so much for all the love and support. And to all my perimenopausal ladies, I want to say that in today's video, we are going to look at the results of my blood tests with me being on a low-dose birth control pill, as I was talking about in my last video. I will link to that video down below. So in today's video, we are going to look at my very recent blood tests. I tested my estradiol, my estrogen, and my progesterone, the two hormones. Well, there are three. There's testosterone as well. But these are the two main hormones that we lose during perimenopause. Our testosterone also declines, but it's kind of like a slow, steady decline. And it's not the hormone that causes all the perimenopausal symptoms, although we do want our testosterone at an optimal level. That's for a separate video. In fact, I have a video on testosterone. I will link to that down below as well. But in today's video, I also want to say I might have been wrong or mistaken. So in the last video, which I will link to below, I was talking about using the birth control tablet to alleviate symptoms of perimenopause. Now, I've heard this information on YouTube. I've Googled it. It's something that is widely kind of known and available by some doctors. So you can basically use a birth control pill or a patch or a ring, however you get your hormones delivered into your body. You can use hormonal birth control to alleviate symptoms of perimenopause. So I was on nothing. I was feeling all the horrendous perimenopausal symptoms. Night sweats, number one, was the worst for me. Also during the day, I was starting to get hot flashes. I was getting morning nausea, which is very much reminiscent of pregnancy, but obviously I'm not pregnant. I'm in perimenopause. And I was also, the body aches and pains, the low mood, the low energy, the sugar cravings, my God, the fatty, carby, sugary cravings, getting a nice belly as well, because I find when my hormones are low and I'm perimenopausal, I just want to eat. And it's like a demon possesses me. You just find that you're needing energy, you're wanting that pick-me-up. And yet, obviously, food is not the solution, but it's all that you have. So you reach for it, you grab out for the sugar and the food. I've also heard that a lot of women turn to alcohol during this time, probably for the same reasons. You are looking for something to pick you up, to feel good, to just get you out of that funk. Basically, for me at least, speaking for myself, perimenopause feels very much like a dark cloud, depression, not wanting to do anything. Now, I'm making it sound quite dramatic. Of course, I'm still functioning in my day. I'm still taking my son to school. I'm still doing the things, but in the background is this yucky feeling. So I decided I've had enough. I went back onto the birth control pill, and I went back onto one that I'd been on before called Femidine. Femidine is what's called a low-dose birth control pill. I will put on the screen here the amounts of estradiol, ethinyl estradiol, and it's got a progestin, which is a synthetic progesterone called gestadine. So I went on that and I thought, there we go. All my symptoms will be relieved. And for the first week, it did seem to work. And then the second week, I'm like, I think I'm getting some more night sweats. What's going on? But I was a bit confused because my partner was also waking up sweating at night. So we thought perhaps it is too thick of a duvet that we have on the bed. So we weren't very sure. So last night we swapped out the duvets and I sweated like a demon. But now I'm on the hormonal birth control pill. So I'm thinking, well, surely this is supposed to work for symptoms of perimenopause. I mean, I made a whole video on it. That's what I spoke about at length in this video. And now, was I wrong? So I decided, you know what? Just get your hormones tested. It's something I've never done in my life before, is tested my levels of hormones, estrogen and progesterone, whilst on the pill. And I don't know why I haven't done it. I went to see my doctor last week, and he said, why haven't you tested your hormones? And I said, well, because I'm on the pill. So is there a need? And he kind of shrugged, like there isn't a need. But then I thought, if I'm still feeling a bit symptomy, what's going on? So my test results came in today, and it's very interesting. I'm going to put them up on the screen here. But as you can see, my estradiol level, which estradiol is the main estrogen. There's 3 estrogens, but estradiol is the one we lose during perimenopause. Mine is 55, which is quite low. If you look at the follicular phase, which is when your cycle starts up after your period. So it's the follicular phase is actually day 1 of your period. So all your hormones drop, you have your period. So then day 1, your hormones, estrogen, estradiol, starts to rise. And at the lowest point in the follicular phase is 46. Mine is 55, which means that right now, after being on the birth control pill for going on, this is the 3rd week, I'm on week 1, 2, 3. So technically, this would be the luteal phase, technically, because I would have started it in my period. My estradiol should be quite high in the luteal phase, not super high, like in the middle when it peaks, but it should not be 55. So if I'm putting in ethinyl estradiol into my body, where is it? Where's it gone? There's nothing. Okay, 55, but still. And then my progesterone came out at 0.6, which is like almost nothing. I mean, that's a postmenopausal progesterone reading, as you can see here on the screen. And so the question in my mind is, I'm on a birth control pill that contains a synthetic estrogen and a synthetic progesterone. So either my body is not absorbing them, or the synthetics are not being read in the blood test, or something is going on. But my blood levels are not showing that I have much progesterone at all. And this is a concern. This is a question. It's a worry. I don't know how or what to make of these readings, but I thought I would share them with you. It's very interesting to see what the birth control pill does to our natural levels, because progesterone in the luteal phase should also be a lot higher. I am in perimenopause, and previous tests have shown that my own progesterone levels are quite low. So I'm not surprised, but I would have thought that the synthetic one would have boosted the levels, unless synthetics don't show up in a blood test. I don't know. I need to speak to my doctor about that. Google is not really helping me in that area. So let's compare my tests from now to May 2022. So just over a year ago, when I was on the biodentical estrogel and the bioidentical progesterone cream. So back then, I remember I'd begged the doctor. I said, please, I'm feeling a bit rough with the perimenopausal symptoms. Please, can I have the creams? And at the time, he had only wanted to give me progesterone because that is my lowest level in my body. I am still producing estrogen, but as I said to him, because we have tested, my own estrogen levels are fairly low. They are low normal. Although I am menstruating, I'm still having a period, but I said to him, please, can we just try the cream? So I was using a full pump of estrogen cream or gel, estrogel, and I can't remember now, I think it was a full pump of the Progel progesterone cream. And we tested. So back then when we tested, I was on the bioidentical hormones. My estradiol level was 585, which is pretty high. And my progesterone went quite high at 55. So if you look on the screen, you will see that 55 is actually higher than any sort of normal. Well, no, it's not. In the luteal phase, progesterone can go up as high as 84, but it is a pretty high reading. And the estradiol, it's not the highest that estrogen could be, but the doctor did say it's a bit high. So at that point in time, a year ago, he said that these levels were too high. We didn't go into a detailed conversation. We should have. I should have said, too high for what, and waited for an answer. That was my fault. I should have asked him, what is the issue with it being those numbers high? But basically, he said they were too high. So I stopped the bioidentical creams. And in hindsight, I should have stuck to maybe dropping down the dosage to half. Part of why I didn't is because it is frustrating. It's a frustrating process trying to get this all right, going back and forth. A year ago, and I have made a video on that, which I will also link to below. I'm going to link all my hormonal videos. That year ago, when I was on the biodentical cream, so I was on testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. I felt very good. I felt energized. I felt pretty darn amazing, but I was getting the side effect of high estrogen, which is big boobs, sore boobs, tender boobs. So I don't know if you guys remember, you ladies, but you know, when we were younger and before our period and all that, you know, during our cycles, our boobs would get quite hard, sore, tender, that kind of feeling. Apparently that's a sign of high estrogen. So I did get that. So when the doctor said the levels were too high, I agreed with him in my mind because I had had that side effect. So I just stopped. I've always stayed on the testosterone because my body basically, I don't know why, but it just doesn't produce testosterone. If you've watched any of my videos before, you would know this. I've said it over and over again. My body just, it's sort of shutting down. It doesn't produce that many hormones. But now, my latest test, the test with me being on the birth control pill, is proving to me that the birth control pill for me is not actually boosting my levels to a point where I'm going to alleviate my symptoms because, like I said, last night I woke up with a very bad night sweat, just drenched in sweat. And although I don't feel any other major symptoms, I'm feeling okay. I'm not feeling brain foggy. So maybe the little levels that are in the pill are alleviating some of the symptoms, maybe not all of them. But my conclusion is that I do need to go back to the doctor, have a look at all my tests, and ask him, what are we going to do now? I think going forward, I should go back onto the bioidentical creams at half the dosage and see how that works. So I am left with a lot of questions. I know that this video is not answering that many questions, but I want to be open and transparent and share with you guys, all you ladies who are also suffering with perimenopausal symptoms. I want to share with you guys what I'm going through, my test results. I have been very open and honest on this channel with all of the things that I'm doing. And I think it's worth it to fight for yourself. I keep saying this in all my videos, but you must fight to feel good because I don't think, personally, I won't accept. I don't think we should feel less than. I don't think we should feel low and depressed and like death warmed up and zombie-like. I think we women are valuable creatures. We deserve more. There is help available. I do realize it's trial and error. It's also about finding a doctor you can talk to. It's finding a doctor, an endocrinologist or a gynecologist who understands female hormones. And it's not easy. It's not easy to find the people, to do all the blood tests, to try the various methods of hormonal delivery. You get patches, which I've never tried before. You get the birth control pill. You get, like I've tried, the creams. The creams are fantastic, but I do find dosaging is hard because if you need to lower your dose, you're now doing half a pump, and did you get out half? You don't always know how much got absorbed. I'm still a little bit in the dark as to how long do I wait before I get dressed? Is it best to do it after a shower? Can I do it, let it dry, wait an hour and then shower? Or is that going to rub it off? Should it stay on my skin the whole day? There's quite a few questions with the various delivery methods of hormones. But the gels and the creams through the skin, they do work. And I'm at a stage now with the night sweats, with the aches and pains. These are my two main things: joint aches and pains. You know, that just that feeling of every time you sit down, you go, ugh. Ugh, I cannot stand that. I want to feel vibrant in my body. I don't expect to feel like a 20-year-old, but I want to feel like a really vibrant 44-year-old because I am. I am a vibrant 44-year-old. I should feel good in my body. And I just don't want any more night sweats. I can't stand it. You wake up drenched in sweat, you got to change your shirt, then you're cold, then you're icy, but then you sweat again, then it's this icy cold sweat. We're in the middle of winter in South Africa, and I'm hot flashing all the time and sweating, and then I drink a hot cup of coffee, and I've got to take my jacket off, and it's just it's just not cool. It's not nice. So there is all that. There's the irritability. My poor partner could attest to that. There's just this general feeling of something is not right. And I know that there is help available. So I really do encourage you, if you're feeling any of these symptoms, the sugar cravings, the mood swings, the irritability, the brain fog, the tiredness, the joint aches and pains, the body aches, the chills, the morning nausea, if you are also getting that. You could also have dry skin, you could have hair issues. There's so many things that come along with perimenopause. You might feel like you're actually going through depression, but it's not that. You have to test. I encourage all of you, please do not be afraid of getting blood tests. I know they're a little bit expensive, but remember, you are going to do this until you find something that works. Once it's working, you do not need to test all the time. I say this from experience with my thyroid. Finally, we are on a dose of thyroid medication because I just tested my thyroid 2 weeks ago. My levels are good, and that, hallelujah, has worked. But that took about 2 years of trial and error, trying different brands, adjusting the dosages of T3 and T4. And now finally, my levels are good. So I know that what I'm doing is working. I won't need to test my thyroid again. Probably I'll test it again in 6 months just to see, or even in a year's time, because it's working. So I'm hoping to reach the same point in my HRT journey. I know I am not in menopause yet, but I don't want to wait until I'm right at the end. I don't want to suffer for the next 5 years. I am young. I'm 44. Most ladies, the average age of menopause is 51. So if I go into proper menopause at the average age, let's say 50, 51, somewhere there, I've got 5 to 6 years of going through all of this. And if this is only going to get worse, I'm going to lose my mind. So I am fighting for myself. I'm fighting to feel good. I mean, I'm into fitness. I'm into health. I love feeling healthy and fit and doing my best for my body, my brain, my bones, my heart health. And I'm sure you want all that for yourself too. So please, ladies, make an appointment with your doctor, see your gynecologist, see your endocrinologist, see someone. But I can't stress enough the importance of going to get blood tests, because I actually was under the wrong and false assumption that if I'm taking the pill, the birth control pill, this here, Femidine, I thought, well, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking the pill. I'm getting in a nice, low, slow, steady dose of estrogen and progesterone. My levels should be sorted. I didn't even think I needed to test, except that the symptoms of perimenopause after 1 week were back. And I was thinking, what is going on? You have to test. You cannot guess at what's going on inside of you. You must test. That is the only way. So I've accepted that for a short period of time, I will be spending a little bit of money on blood tests. It's a bit of a grudge thing. I mean, I don't want to. Who of us wants to waste money on blood tests? But it's not a waste. If you can get to the point where you're feeling great, your levels are good, and you're feeling, I wouldn't say young again, but if you're feeling back to an energetic version of yourself, isn't it worth it? I think so. That's it for today's video. I hope you found it interesting and useful. This definitely will lead on to a future video. Once I get levels adjusted, once I probably will go back onto the biodentical creams and see what happens there, have a further discussion with my doctor. I really hope you found this useful. If you did, please, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Also, I would love to hear your experiences with HRT, with perimenopause. What symptoms are you suffering with? Are you feeling the same way as me? Please type that in the comments below. Please don't be selfish. Send this video to another perimenopausal lady who can identify who needs the help. It really helps my channel grow. My channel is growing, but hey, we're nearly there. We're nearly at that 1,000 mark. I could do with your help. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. I love making these videos because I do feel knowledge is power and we need to share, 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 share. So thank you so much. Also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it takes a second. Just click that little bell icon as well to get notifications. It doesn't cost you a cent. I'm not going to bug you. I'm not going to flood your inbox with anything. This has got nothing to do with that. Just subscribe and then there you go. It's going to help me tremendously. So leave me a comment as well. That really boosts this little video. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. And let's see where my perimenopausal journey continues onwards and where it takes me. Bye.